Hey folks, hope it ain't too windy today. It's the middle of the day. I put out a few videos here the other day. Hopefully you watched. I've got to give the little colt, he ain't a colt no more, he's a gelding. I got to give him a round of antibiotics. Hopefully it's his last. We castrated him on Saturday and today is Thursday. He's still a bit swelled up and I've been working him every day. When you cut one, you gotta work him every day. And make sure that they don't get swole up and sore. Just try to keep the soreness out. Been doing that with him. Yesterday I missed, and because it was raining, it was pouring rain when I got home. It was late, so I didn't get him out. But I'm gonna give him a round of antibiotics, and then I'm gonna get a saddle on him. My hopes are today to get Cowboy and Spurs down to the lease that I showed you in another video and get them out on some grass. It's raining every day, so the grass ought to be good and green and jumping on up there. So I'm gonna get after it. I'm getting a late start. I did a bunch of paperwork, did a bunch of estimates, so we'll I got to do what I can do when I can do it, and sometimes things take priority over other things. But I'm gonna get this old boy doctored and see if we can't get these other horses down there. All right. We keep our medications in a cooler, and this one's still kind of cold. You can warm them up on a warm day pretty good, throwing them up in a dashboard. I don't like to shoot it into them cold. Can send them into shock. Even in a muscle, it can send them into shock. Particularly if you put it into a vein, it can send them into shock. But right there. This is my snubbing post. It's a really stout post that I put in the other day, and it's to tie these horses up. I don't tie them right up to it. Snubbing posts have got a bad rap in the past. I'll show you how I use it when I saddle him up. But first, we're gonna get this shot into him. Now, what I like to do is stiff arm. I call this a stiff arm move. So if he runs into me, he's gonna push me out of the way. So I brace up my arm, and there's a triangle right here, and I will go 1, 2, 3, and I give about 10 cc's in each side. I don't like to give them small amounts over a long period of time. I give them a pretty good dose when we castrate them, and then I give them, if they need it, and I think he does, his gums are lost a little bit of color, so I'm just going to do the same over here. Sometimes you can pinch the hide. Really good. And we got that out of the way. So this is my hitching rail. Normally I wouldn't have him that loose, but I'm fixing to put a saddle on him. And I want to take and show you guys this. This horseshoe here is not to tie the horse to, but to keep the rope at the top of the post. If I didn't have this on here, the rope would fall down and create a lot of problems. I have my safety rope over here. Oh, son. I have my safety rope over here on him. He's a little bit nervous about this camera. He ain't seen this camera up close much. You go, baby. And as I'm getting more arthritic, my shoulders have taken a beating, my back and my hips took a beating. Starting horses with just a pin and trying to saddle them when they don't want to stand still, particularly at first saddling. It's a little bit of a chore. And what I'll do is I'll use this snubbing post, and I'll use this rope here as a way to kind of control them. I never tie a horse up without a safety rope. It's just tied in a knot for all the snowflakes out there. It's not going to choke him. And I'll use this to kind of control his feet. If he wants to leave, he can leave this much. And I really think a lot of times that this helps horses because they can't get totally away from the situation. And I'm not going to chase him with whatever it is that he's running from, but I will take and allow him to move away, and then I'll get him to calm back down and go again. Now, I have saddled this colt before. This is not the first time I've saddled him. I've saddled him right here, and he did really well. So I'll go back through the steps, and hopefully the wind's not too bad. So I'll go through the same steps I would if he wasn't tied up. I've got my safety rope here to kind of help me give him some support to say, you don't have to leave, but if he gets too tore up about it, then I'll take him. I'll take him, just let him leave. And horses are situation challenged. Just because I've saddled him once doesn't mean that he'll be okay with it this time. That's why I always start again. And I'm not one for sneaking around a colt. I just kind of throw it on them. I'll take and throw it on their butt. And I've been throwing a rope over him. So the natural progression, we throw a rope up over the horse. Then we throw a blanket up over the horse. Then we throw a pad up over the horse. And then we throw a saddle up over the horse. So that's kind of the natural progression there. If you can't throw a rope over a horse, you ain't gonna place throwing a pad on him. Same thing goes for a blanket. I've threw a blanket all over him, touched him, patted him on the shoulders. And you can see he's not really okay with it. He wants to move there, and that's okay. And he may be a little bit tender because, you know, he's this cut on Saturday. Throw it up there. Now what I'll do is I'll leave that there, and then I'll just switch sides here with him and do the exact same thing. I'm just going to ask him to back up here. Good boy. Now let's do the exact same thing. I'll bump it into him. And the worst thing you can do is make it perfect. If you always just make it perfect, then when something is not perfect, the horse is going to have issues with it. So I might throw it up there. I might throw it on his neck. I might bang it on his belly. I might bang it on his front legs. I might bang it on his butt. Just so he knows that anything can happen. I hope for the best and I plan for the worst. So that's kind of the motto of all cowboys. But there, that was good. Now I'll just grab the saddle. You know, people will come up and they'll say, let the horse smell it. He can see it. And then I just do what I normally would. I'll take and I'll just pitch it up here, you know, and I'm bumping him with it. You know, people say, well, you're making him scared. No, he needs to get used to the idea of stuff bumping him. Yeah, he wants to move, it touches him. He's like, I don't know what to do here. So I make a big fuss out of it. And then I'll just take this stirrup and I'll just put it up on him here. If he wants to walk away, it's okay. Oh, buddy. It's kind of sitting bad there. I'll come over here. This old saddle's a Sears and Roebuck saddle, and it is probably 100 years old, close to it. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, that guy's scared there, didn't he? So he's scared of that, right? So I'll just take and I'll do it again. I'm petting him over here, letting him know that that's okay. There we go. Anything that scares him, do it till it don't. So we got our saddle up here, and he's got a pretty good set of withers on him. I'm just going to reach under here, and I've been putting a rope on him, tightening it up, playing with him so he knows what this pressure is and he doesn't get too excited about it. There's some people say, well, I start with just a front cinch and then a back cinch. That kind of spooked him there. You can see here, I got a hold of him and I'm adding some support saying, no, it's okay. I'm not just pitching him away and letting him be scared. I'm saying, no, it's okay. I'm not holding him here, but I just keep reminding him that I'm here and it's okay. So, reach under here, grab this girth, and I tighten it right on up. We don't want him getting his back foot caught in it. Go. So now he's saddled up. If he wants to take and he wants to buck around, he can. Oh, forgot my wrist collar. And all this kind of stuff's good for him. Just kind of let him see it all. Nothing in this old world's perfect. So don't try to make what you do with your horse perfect. People say, it's got to be this way, it's got to be that way. And I think that stems from a lot of show horses and show people. I've competed in shows, I've trained show horses, and yeah, there's a place for it, but for an everyday old backyard horse, you know, 9 times out of 10, particularly inexperienced people, things are not going to be perfect. So try to make allowances and just do what you can do. Appreciate that. So here's a snubbing post that allowed him to move around if he wanted to. He's saddled up. You can see I just left the latigo hanging. I'm gonna come back and tighten it up a little bit more later. He can move around. I am gonna take and move him around before I just tie him up tight. And by tight, I mean not snubbed right to the pole, but tight enough he don't get his front foot hung in it if he wants to paw like that right there. Perfect example. So I try to keep it up to where they won't get in a wreck. And then this is lesson, you know, number 1 right here in saddling. Stand tied, stand saddled, and you know, I'll go work him when I'm done here today. I'll work him around a little bit and bring him back and unsaddle him. And unsaddling is just as much part of training as saddling. So he's gonna stand here a little bit, paw, get in patient, and I'm gonna go catch Cowboy and trim him. So Cowboy's all trimmed up. Now I gotta go work on a trailer so I can haul these guys down to the pasture. If I ever had a trailer, I cannot remember me ever having a trailer that I didn't either have to work on the lights, change a spare tire, change a flat tire, or work on something on them. If I ever did have a trailer that I didn't have to work on before I used it, it might feel like I died and went to heaven. I don't know how well you can see that, but that spring hanger has come out of that equalizer. This here's the equalizer, and that bolt has come out of there, and it keeps doing it. I don't know why it keeps breaking that bolt. I put a Schedule 8 bolt in there. It may have just come unbolted at this point, but and not broke. I put some lesser grade bolts in there, and they broke. So I think it's just old rough roads out here. I had to fix this one time before in the Tractor Supply parking lot. So I'm gonna put this jack in here and jack it back up in place and throw a bolt in.
really see that back one. So I'm hoping it goes in there. I don't know. Don't think it did. Did this before. I had Miss Polly's help, and it's not ideal that the nut is on the back side, but I got it licked.
Getting a little afternoon rain here. Some people say this is not the monsoon starting. They just say it's storms, but we've been getting rain every afternoon. So I'm thinking the monsoons have already started. Most generally when that happens, July and August are hot. We don't get as much rain. So I think we are going to get rain from now on. I think the seasons have changed and we'll probably get rain till September. What happened last year. Hopefully the road going down to the pasture lease ain't too swampy. Well, I may have prophesied, I don't know. Now I got a flat tire. I got to air up. I even worked on the jack. The bolts were loose in it. I got the spring hanger fixed. Now I've got to air up a flat. Such is life. There's a few tools that are pretty invaluable. Living off grid, generators, air compressors. You just about can't live without them. That should get us down there and get us back. There's rain over where we're headed, right over there. I sure hope we can get in there today. I may have waited too long. Now, before I catch these other guys, I'm gonna take him and go and saddle him and get these guys caught and loaded up. boys, this is how it's done. You have your wife come along with you to be your gate opener. So all you girls out there that are dating cowboys, when he asked you for your hand in marriage, what he's really saying is, will you be my forever gate opener? The boys are way over there. They took off. They come back to us and then they took off again. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's Rainbow. Rain kind of held off, the wind shifted and it blew it towards, probably towards our house, right around this little valley. But they're over there enjoying the grass. And we're filling up another tank here for them. I'll have to bring over another pallet, keep spurs from pawing the water out of this. What we'll do is when we come over, we'll bring a protein tub, stick it in that little pen where I took them, and then grain them every time we come. And then when we show up, they'll be at the gate waiting for us. That's normally how it works. And we won't have any trouble having to go hunt them down. But just in case, first few times I come over here to pick them up, I'm gonna bring another horse. Generally, they'll follow another horse in, and with a little bit of grain too. Have them come on in. It's a big area, it's wide open, and it's a pretty little old spot down here. So I think the horses are gonna do good. I'm gonna call it a day. Remember, this whole world's getting crazy. If you don't know which way to go, submit your ways unto the Lord. Trust also unto him, and he'll bring it to pass. We'll see you later.